Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So welcome everyone. We want to take this opportunity to meet with Jose. I'll introduce him in just a second. With Harris County Precinct 2, Commissioner Garcia's office. We want to be able to give businesses in the area the opportunity to do business with our government if they so choose, and this would be our county. So first, thanks so much, Jose, for joining us. And we want to do some self-intros. It'll just be us. So let's do that just so people that watch this later can know who we are. And we'll start with you, Darcy. Why don't you go ahead?
Hi, I am Darcy Watley. I have a healthcare business. I have 3 nursing homes that we operate and 1 assisted living. And they're in Harris County. I've got Baywood Crossing Rehabilitation Healthcare Center and the park at Bay Area are in this district.
Right. So those are some nice places. I've been to a couple of them for some ribbon cutting. So thanks so much, Darcy, for that. My name is Stephanie Tanner. I am the president of the South Belt Ellington Chamber of Commerce, and we are the ones who are bringing you this seminar today. And then I will pass it over to Jose. So Jose Medrano is the Director of Budget, Finance, and Technology for the Office of Commissioner Adrian Garcia. So he leads Precinct 2 acquisition professionals in providing dedicated acquisition and program management expertise and lifecycle management support with strategically sound contracts. So he is putting people together, businesses to government, business to business, whatever he's doing. He's going to tell us a little bit about that today. So take it away, Jose.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for having me. And I'm very happy to be a part of this seminar. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in Pasadena, so I'm pretty close to home. And I think I told Stephanie this earlier. Whenever I was going through U of H, I went to Deer Park High School, then I went to San Jac and then U of H. And I worked at that Chili's on Fuquay, so it's in the heart of where your chamber is, and so I know that area very, very well. I still live in Pasadena. All my family lives in that general area. So really looking forward to helping you guys understand how to do business with Harris County. It's not just with Precinct 2, it's Harris County, and that means Harris Health. That means everything that has to do with Harris County, including the jail system and all that like. So what I did is I created a form, and I'm just going to share my screen with you guys first and foremost so that I can walk you through all this stuff. Let me get here. All right. Okay. So, I was in insurance, and I'm a business owner myself. So I was in the insurance industry for about 20 years, and I just kind of, figured out the system, and I started to do a lot of consulting work. And I help companies, pursue contracts with the city of Houston, with city of Pasadena, with Harris County, with different government entities. There really isn't a place that you can go where it teaches you how to do this. You just kind of have to figure it out on your own. Just like a lot of your own businesses, you had to figure out how to do it. I, as an insurance agent, I kind of started from scratch. I had to learn how to do all the bookkeeping, how to do everything else, and you kind of just put your resources together, and you just tough it out, and you figure it out and try to find some training where you can. And so this is what we do here. This is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to do business with Harris County. This is about 2.5 years worth of my banging my head up against the wall, trying to figure out how the system works. And I condensed it really to a 1.5 pages, and it applies to not just Harris County, but it applies to the city of Houston and everything else. The process is the same. It's just a different website. So I put together this one-sheeter. I'm happy to share it with Stephanie and the entire chamber, so you guys can ask her for it. And this has hyperlinks. So the first thing that we want to do is learn about Harris County. What I have here is, first and foremost, Harris County is made up of a county judge, which is the head administrator of the entire county, and 4 precincts with commissioners that are elected to 4-year terms. Commissioner Rodney Ellis is in Precinct 1. As you can see, he has a lot of Central Houston and a lot of South Harris County. Commissioner Garcia, my boss, he has Aldine all the way through Easton, all of Pasadena, all the way down to Seabrook, all the way up to Crosby. So it's all of East Harris County. Then we have Commissioner Tom Ramsey, which is West Harris County, which is takes forever. I'll tell you what, to get from this point to this point. I'll tell you that much. It takes about an hour and a half time. Jack Cagle, Commissioner Jack Cagle, he represents the northern part of Harris County, which is Kingwood and all that Spring area up there. So Commissioner Garcia, his father was an entrepreneur, so he's an entrepreneur at heart. He started his career as a police officer, and then he moved on to city council, and then he's now our county commissioner. So he's got an entrepreneurial spirit at heart, and one of the biggest things that he's tasked me to do is to teach people within the precinct on how to do business. There's a lot of opportunity there to do almost anything that you can think of. So we're just a big business. We're about $3.4 billion of revenue. And so we buy everything from pens and pencils to airplanes to, whatever the jail system needs, whatever, medicines that the Harris Health needs, to, staplers and everything, equipment that to build roads and bridges, concrete. So you name it, we house it, we build it, we maintain it. So there is an opportunity for almost every person here to do business with the county. So we're going to get to the one sheeter that I talked about now, and it's basically going over to how to do business with Harris County. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is this hyperlink here. This is the homepage for Harris County Purchasing Department. So this here is really what you really need more than anything else. You can clicking on these hyperlinks will give you a lot of information, but I'm going to go step by step on what they actually mean and what's relevant to you to save yourself the time of figuring everything out. So the first step is you need to get a supplier ID set up. You can email this email address here, and you can ask them to become a supplier, to get a supplier ID with Harris County. They'll assign you your own number when you provide the vendor information form that they will give you, a W-9 and ACH vendor payment authorization. So that's the first thing that you need to do is to get into the system, so that if you do work, if you get called on by a department head or whomever else that needs something because you've already marketed to them, they need to have you in the system so they can pay you quickly. Our goal here is to try to pay within 2 weeks of the time that you submit your invoice for the work that you've completed. We have to process it here, and then it's got to go to Commissioner's Court, and then it gets distributed, I believe, on the Wednesday, after Commissioner's Court. So Commissioner's Court usually on Tuesday. They'll try to distribute it on Wednesday or Thursday once it gets approved. So our goal here in the precinct is to try to get it done in 2 weeks. Sometimes it can last a little bit longer depending on the backlog. But Commissioner Garcia is adamant about making sure that we help small businesses find opportunities to do business with Harris County, and then also that they get paid quickly. We all know that cash flow can be an issue at times, and we don't want to be responsible for that to happen if we could prevent it. Step number 2 is talking a little bit about the purchasing system. So again, this applies to almost all of Texas, the school board systems, the cities, the state universities, most cities, almost all cities, the private universities, that's a different story, but this is governed by state law. Anything between $1 and $50,000, basically, we have to have 3 internal quotes. The law says between 1 and 5 is 1 quote, and 1 and 10 is 2 quotes, and one between anything over that to 50,000 is 3 quotes. I make it a rule of thumb here within our department, within the precinct, to get 3 internal quotes. So what that means is, if you're going to order mugs for the precinct, or you're going to order a bunch of office supplies, and it's going to be under $50,000, I require my department heads and also my purchasing agents to get 3 quotes. and that just helps us really spread out, I guess, the opportunities to different, vendors. But the one thing that I got to tell you as a private business owner myself in the past and helping the other people is that you got to treat us like you would any other customer. You need to get in front of us. You need to market to us. So if I'm, if I'm asked to buy a bunch of these pens, it's going to be $30,000. I only need to get 3 quotes. So I'm just going to think off the top of my head, well, I can call Staples, I can call this other company, or I call this local company. But it's just those are people that I think of in my head. That's what marketing is paid for, right? So that's why you pay for marketing. So you need to market to us as well. We are just another customer. We can be typically a large customer. There are very few private companies that can survive on only government money. It probably was engineers that do the roads and bridges and probably concrete. Now, as an insurance agent, as a manufacturer of shirts or whatever, that the county needs, we're just another customer, but we can't potentially be a big customer. So market to us, market to the directors of the division that's going to use your product. So if you're an engineering company, you want to go market to the director of engineering. If you're a construction company, you want to go get in front of the director of construction in precinct 2, in precinct 1, in precinct 3, in precinct 4, and so forth. So that's something that I do want to share with you and let you guys know. Stephanie, you can see my screen, right? You can? Okay, fantastic. This next thing is anything over $50,000 has to go through a formal bid process and then goes to commissioner's court. So that is usually some of the bigger priced items like advertising. If we need to advertise things in the newspaper, for example, or if we're going to do public relations where it's going to be a big project, construction, it's some kind of materials that you're going to sell to the county, anything over $50,000 needs to go to commissioner's court. And I'm going to show you guys the steps on how to find those projects and how to bid for them. Now, if you as an individual or company are going to provide more than $50,000 worth of services in a year, that service needs to go to that bid process as well. So just want to make you aware, there's a lot of home runs right in here from $1 to $50,000. Please go through that process, advertise to your department heads, because these are not advertised online or anywhere else. We just say that we need it, and so that we call on people. These, on the other hand, are advertised online, and officially they're advertised in the newspaper still, but they're, online is where obviously everyone gets it. Number 3 is exactly how do you bid on a project? We used to have a different system called Civcast, and there was another one, and we've also already moved over to a new system called Bonfire. If I click on bid on a project, and again, Stephanie's going to have this document so she can share with you. This is going to take you to the homepage of the purchasing department. Bonfire is the new system that you can actually see where all the bids are, and you can actually bid. So this link will actually take you straight there anyways also. So what we're going to do here, and I just want to show you guys, it's the same thing as here at Bonfire, Harris County Bonfire portal, it takes you to the same thing. So these are all of the open opportunities that are available right now with Harris County. This is a live shot of what's available. This is broken down days left for it to close. As you can see, this shows that it's open. This is the reference number, the project itself, when it closes, how many days are left, and then the actual documents and stuff when we click on opportunity. We will click on it in a second, but I want to show you something in a few minutes. As you can see, there's a ton of opportunities available for everything from pharmacy benefit manager to culvert and storm sewer cleaning, refurbishing of duct air handling units in the hospital, asphalt. There's just a lot of everything that goes. Event planning management, we need that as well. Who would have ever thought that Harris County needs event planning, but we obviously do. So we're going to click on this one, and this is what you can see from the public point of view. Notice I have not registered yet. So I want to show you guys the difference between what it looks like when you're registered and you're not registered. So right now, let's look at executive recruitment services for Harris County. We're going to view that opportunity. It takes you into this one sheet here where it tells you a little bit about everything. When it opened up on the 17th September, the questions are due by the 27th. Who the buyer is. So this is who you can contact more questions about this particular open item. And when it closes, October the 4th at 2 p.m. So we've got 5 days left as of today. Now, a little bit of advice for when I was teaching people how to do this in the private sector, not very many people knew that you can't talk to the buyers. I'm sorry, you can't talk to anyone in Harris County when there's a bid that's actively open. It's called the blackout period. So the point between here, where the open date is, any day before that, you can talk to me, you can talk to anybody about a bid that's about to come up. Once it opens up and it's been advertised and it's online, you can't talk to anybody or you're going to get disqualified. You can, on the other hand, send the buyer an email and ask them questions, and they'll post the question and the answers online, so it's fair for everyone. After it closes and it's been awarded, it passes commissioner's court, then you can talk to people about it again if you bid on it. So if you're not going to bid on it, which I'm not going to bid on this one, you're not going to bid on this one, or your friend's not going to bid on it, you can ask me all the questions you want in the world. But if you're intending to bid on it and you submit your paperwork to actually bid on it and try to win it, you're going to get disqualified because you spoke to me or to somebody else in Harris County about this bid. So the blackout period, make sure you avoid that. Ideally, you do want to talk, because you become friends with the department heads or the purchasing department, you can ask them about the industry you're in, and you can ask them, hey, when is an RFP going to go out regarding my industry? They'll tell you, because they want to get the best price, the best product for the best price. They'll let you know it's the next one is going to be in September of 2022. And then you could ask them all the questions that you want until it gets published. So, but you just cannot do it during the blackout period. Now, remember, we clicked on this one and it'll tell you a little bit more about this. This one has a pre-proposal conference. So as you can see there, it's on September the 23rd, it's at 1 p.m. and it tells you to email an RSVP Geronimo, and they will let you know where it is or if there's a conference line or whatever it is. So we'll get back to this in a little bit. You'll understand why I'm telling you this later on, but any opportunity that you can, go to the pre-bid conference, because you might not be able to win the actual RFP because it's too big for you, but you might be a subcontractor. And this is the opportunity for you to meet all the big boys and big girls that run all the big companies, and you can probably become a sub. So, if it's multi-million-dollar contract and you're sub out, you get subbed, $500,000 worth of work. I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of money. You get a couple of those sub jobs throughout the year. That's $3 or $4, $5 million worth of work that you can accumulate if you get 4 or 5 sub jobs. So that's how most companies that are primes get started, by becoming subs, build up enough, capital so that they can actually hire more staff, and then they can take on a bigger project, and they can become primes. So this is the general open version of this solicitation. And as you can see, there's a lot of good stuff here. You can actually see who downloaded the files. So this kind of gives you an idea of who is going to bid for it. And if you're going to be a sub, you can give them a call. All right. That's what I would do. When you're not logged in, you can't see any of the files, or you can't see some of the files. So I'm going to log in myself. And here I am. If you have not registered, you should register, because once you register, you'll be able to log in and you'll put in your commodity codes and you'll get emails for your industry on RFPs that are coming up. Okay, so we're going to log in here. That's how it says new vendor registration. That's where you would go. All right, so now I've logged into this deal. And so the question is, what is it that I can see that I couldn't see before? Well, it's stuff like this, pricing information. You'll need to fill out this, these downloadable things. You can actually click on, on all of these to see what's available. So let's just look at Onvio Inc. You can see who they are. You can email them. You can, if I'm a sub, if I'm a small subcontractor, staffing company, I'm going to look through these and look and see who are the bigger companies, Onvia, for example, and then I'm going to email them and say, hey, I saw that you're interested in doing this RFP. I'd love to subcontract with you. I'm a local vendor. I've got a relationship here in Harris County, and I think I'd be a great person to be on your team. Here's my information. I'm going to send you my capability statement. Please consider me. And then that's how you become a sub. And this is how you get in contact with people that are just, not in the general area. Something that we've had to learn to do because of COVID, right? So RFP, this will tell you the proposal itself, all the acknowledgements, all that kind of good stuff. And remember, I said that you want to go to the pre-bid meeting whenever you can. Eventually, what happens is that there is a sign-in sheet. Everyone signs in, and if you're a woman-owned or a small or a minority-owned business and you're certified, it'll list that as well. And then you can go back to that list event. Once you've gone to it and you signed in, everyone has access to it online. You can actually go back and find the primes and then send them a solicitation and say, I would love to be a part of your RFP. Please include me. I'm a woman-owned business. I'm a small business owner, or whatever you want to put. And then that's your opportunity to get business with the county. Becoming a prime isn't for everyone just yet. You might, there are some projects that are just too big for some construction companies or whatever it is to do, but there are some that are opportunities that you can do. So you just have to sift through them and see which one's the right one for you. All right, so what I want to show you guys is the next one, the next deal. Number 4, if you're a professional services contractor, this is where you would click, and we're going to skip past this for now, just for brevity and time. If you do this type of work, this is where you would click if you're interested in doing business with the Flood Control District, Harris County Engineering, or the Toll Road Authority. Okay, so what I would do if I were in the private industry, which I did in the past, was, and you do it also in the private sector, is you want to scope out your competition, right? So if this mug, they want 1 million of these and it's going to cost me, I think I should price it at $500,000. I want to know what my competition is pricing it at. Harris County is a low bid type of, program. We're going to get the equal quality product for the lowest bid. And that's just the way it works. And it's the way it works in the private sector too, unless if you've got a brother-in-law deal somewhere. But you as a business owner, you're going to purchase things from the vendor that can provide the best quality at the best price. And so we do this thing. What you can do is you can go back and look historically at what the county has awarded or what companies are submitting information from. So when you click on current, check on contract status, it takes you to this section of the website. This will tell you what people bid on RFPs. So let's just say, for example, that you wanted to do batteries for automobiles, trucks, and commercial. This deal, you're wanting to do it, but you're just scoping out how to do the system, how the system works, and you want to know, I wanted to do this RFP, but I didn't. But I want to know if I would be in line with what they would ask for. You would click at, this has already been, all the submissions have already been completed. The bid is closed, and now it's in the progress of being awarded. But you can click on the tabulation sheet and you can see who bid on what. So here you can see that there are various companies that downloaded. These 3 companies actually submitted bids. Arnold Oil Company of Houston, $336,000. This other company for $228,000. This one for $334,000. Well, I can tell you right now, that Parts Authority LLC is going to win this bid, right? Because they have the lowest bid. But Harris County is going to do their due diligence and make sure that Parts Authority can actually provide the legitimate product, and they're not going to back out on it, and the product's going to be good. If they realize that Parts Authority made a mistake and they can't provide it, they're going to go to the next bid, and it's going to be Advanced Storage Company that's going to win it. But if I'm RFX analyst or O'Reilly Automotive, for example, and this is my first time doing an RFP, I would look at this and I would find out, well, I was thinking about, bidding this for $500,000, but I can see I would lose. So next time I'll bid it at $227,000 so that I can actually win, this bid. Okay. So that's how you can go back and look in the history of all of Harris County, of all the past RFPs that have been out and about, and you can go back and you can actually just study your industry to see what happened here. So that contract that we were just looking at was actually, obviously it was over $50,000. So that would have gone to Commissioner's Court to be voted on who got the bid, or, there has been some questions, I guess, about how that has happened just recently in the news and all that kind of good stuff. You've seen what's happening. We've learned a lot more about how the procurement process happened in the last couple of months because of different deals. So what happens is, there's an RFP that's put out. The deadline closes. Everyone submitted everything. It then goes into a purchasing recommendation committee. They study all of the proposals. They'll give a recommendation. It goes before court, and then the court votes on those proposals. Now, the people on that committee are usually comprised of people within Harris County that have an interest or knowledge of that RFP. They are sworn to secrecy. They have to sign a confidentiality form. They can't talk to anybody about it, and that's under rules. That's how it works. So the commissioners can't even ask about it, or the judge. And so then it goes after the recommendation is taken out. It goes up to the Commissioner's Court, and they vote it up or down. And that's.
Do they see the other bids as well in Commissioner's Court, or just what is recommended to them?
They can see the bids just like you and I can.
Okay.
So, these, for example, drainage improvements, they have all the bid tabulations in. It's public. It has not been awarded yet. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you one that has been awarded. Bike lane, sweeping services, and related items. Bid tabulation. There's two of them for $56,000 and $67,000. I bet you Panel Industries won. All right. So as you can see, all these other, oh man, don't tell me it started. Okay. All these are already public, so it's public. Everyone, commissioners can look at it. Anybody can look at it. And then this is the actual award. Who did I tell you? I said Panel Industries is probably going to win it, right?
Yeah.
Here's the actual award itself. You see who voted for it, and it goes through it. Bike lane sweeping, and Dwight is the purchasing agent, the main guy. And so this is the actual deal. So it's a $56,000 one-year term with 4 one-year renewal options.
So what about all the other businesses on the side that names were there, but no bids?
They took an interest in it, downloaded it, but did not submit.
Got it.
So,
okay.
But it's good for if you are in this industry, you want to research what's happened in the past, and you want to see who actually downloaded it as well, because they probably were wanting to do it, but they're just timid about submitting. But you might want to call them up and partner up. Who knows? It might be something that you might want to do.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we've already found out how to research RFPs that are what we want to do, and in the past. And so we know how to price ourselves for the future. And that's what this was, check contract status. And that's basically what we did here. The bid tabulation, which is public to everybody before it even goes to Commissioner's Court to get awarded. Okay. And then the award letter once it gets awarded. All right. Number 6 So now you're doing your due diligence, you're trying to pay RFPs. The purchase department has a staff directory. And again, do not call if it's during the RFP, if it's open, you can't talk to them. Okay, the main guy is Dwight. Don't call Dwight, all right? Because he's the main guy. That means he's got all these other people working for him. So, he can't answer everybody's phone calls. But what you can do is, if you're selling furniture, you need to call Martha Sloan, all right? Don't call Dwight. Dwight's a busy guy already. Martha's the one, he's gonna answer, if he answers the phone, he's gonna say, well, let you talk to Martha. And so call directly, call Martha if you sell furniture, office paper supplies, printing or uniforms. Call her, email her. She's more than, all of these folks are really friendly. They're really nice and they want to help you. If you're a new vendor, you've never done business with us, they want to help you succeed and they'll walk you through the process. Give them a call to figure out what's going to come up in the future. And if it's going to be in the future, then you can ask them all the questions you want in the world. So how do I do this? Or what has it been like? What are the past RFPs that have been issued? What was awarded last time? Who was the incumbent? They're more than happy to answer a lot of these questions. So each one does something specific. Like Jeremy Woodard does vehicles and fleet operations, right? If you're in technology, you're going to call one of these folks. If you're in recycling, I guess you call this person. Give them a call. So they're more than happy to help you with stuff. Give me a call if you want, and I'll point you in the right direction as well. The last thing is that the Harris County is now going into small business and minority-owned business type of program to help boost the number of small business owners that can do business with the county. We now created a new department. It's called Department of Economic Equity and Opportunity. And this is the information. You can feel free to give them a call if you want to learn more about doing business also with Harris County. And what they're going to tell you to do is to get certified if you are able to with the city of Houston or with the state of Texas with a hub program, if you are a woman-owned or minority-owned business. Harris County is now going to set goals very similar to the city of Houston, where they're going to say, we need to have 20% of this contract go to a small business owner that is a woman-owned business or a minority-owned business. And so I would encourage everyone to, if you're able to apply or partner up with someone that qualifies as 51% owner. It takes about 3 or 4 months, and that's on the low end for the city of Houston. So just be patient. The state of Texas Hub program, it's a new online program. It's a lot faster. I would suggest that you do them both at the same time. The city of Houston will do the hub application for you, but they're going to take forever. So I would apply for that one and then apply for that one the next day or the same day, because you're going to get this one anyways.
So you must have one of those certifications in order to get your bid looked at? No, that is if you're going to be a sub. If you're going to be a sub, they're going to encourage it. And so it makes it more attractive to the prime. But ultimately you got to do the work. You got to be able to do the work. A piece of paper ain't going to do you any good, right? If you can't do the work. So that's all I got to say. And please like our Facebook page. This is for Precinct 2 Facebook page. We will post some things that we do need from time to time that are under $50,000. That's another way for us to communicate to the general public, so that I don't just think of somebody off the top of my head. Okay. And then here's my information. Feel free to give me a call or email me. I'm happy to meet with you guys. We're pointing in the right direction. And go to our website, and then also, you can study our website in the business section there, and you can schedule a meeting as well. Okay, so that kind of sums it up. I'm happy to answer any questions, but if not, you guys can reach out to me, and then you can ask Stephanie for this one sheeter or 2-sheeter. I mean, since we have Darcy on the line, Darcy, was there something specific that you were wondering about doing business with the county or with our local government, as far as with your organization, or did you just want a general synopsis of how to do it?
I mostly just wanted the information on how do you business with Harris County. I was curious. So that was kind of my reason for being on the webinar. I'm thinking of all of these fellow business owners who probably have about this, that learning about this now, I can share that with others. I'm thinking of many businesses. We were talking about supplies or the furniture, even things that you don't think about every day. And I've learned so much on this webinar.
Well, that was some excellent information on a pathway to do business with our local government. So thank you so much, Jose, for that wonderful presentation. And of course, Darcy, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you and your support of our chamber. Please stay up to date on what the chamber has to offer, all of our chamber news. Follow us on Facebook at Southbelt CC, or you can always visit our website, www.southbeltchamber.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.